Yeah, I want one. I got to talk about this console announcement and, share my 2 cents. All right? This won't take long. In the 0.00001% chance that you're watching this and you haven't seen the trailer, Sony released or announced that they are releasing a PlayStation 5 Pro. And whoo boy, did a lot of people have a lot to say about this trailer. Let's talk about it. I'm Solace. This is Solace and Dread. We produce analytical content as well as nuanced discussions on gaming. If you like that kind of stuff, consider subscribing. Yeah. So there's a lot wrong with the package that they are trying to sell. Let's just start there, right? There's no disk drive at all. We're at the midpoint of the life cycle of the PS5 at this point, and they're releasing a PlayStation 5 Pro, and a lot of people that bought PlayStation 5 bought the version that has the disk drive on it, and now they're releasing a Pro version where that install base cannot play their games with this console, this $700 console. So that install base is fucked. And the thing is, it's a minimal cost. This thing, the PlayStation 5's guts and the processing power, that's what they're selling is the price increase. That's why it's so much more expensive than the base model, is that it's just got so much beefiness in it. But the disk drive is just an installer at this point. Why was that not an option? Why is that sold separately? But the processing power that's inside that's boosting up the price so much, there's diminishing returns after a certain point for 4K gaming. We're really starting to kind of hit the limits where all of the next generations are going to be minimal in scale comparatively. I mean, if you look at the difference between like a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2, or, go back further, going from SNES to, N64, you're literally changing how you interact with the games entirely. After a while, you start to lose those significant boosts in your processing power and how much that actually means for games. And the PlayStation 5 Pro is really no different. It's still a victim to that very same thing. This point is highlighted by the fact that they're using PlayStation 4 games to promote the PS5 Pro. That happened in the trailer. Many gamers are already satisfied with the PlayStation 5's capabilities. So, any additional improvements on visual fidelity on the Pro is going to barely be noticeable for most games. There are some significant improvements if you watch, especially maintaining frame rate, and I will not discount that. And that's one of the reasons I kind of want one, but I promise we'll get to that. And this thing does do some stuff that PCs technically don't even have access to yet. But if you're going to spend that much money, why would you do this when you can get a gaming PC for not much more that can do so much more? Just doesn't make any sense. Even a laptop, which has, again, they have so much more versatility, because that price, again, it's $700. We're talking $700 for this midlife crisis Pro version that many gamers need a disk drive for and might actually want to stand. So you're actually talking $800. The point that I'm illustrating with this is that the market is very, very niche. This is not Nintendo. This ain't Dollar Tree. This isn't a thing where everybody's welcome. This is pricing people out, and it is meant for the elitists. And then you're coupling that insane price with the utter lack of console exclusives. Seriously, there's like none. Like nearly every game worth playing on the PlayStation 5 is or someday will be on PC. So if it's so bad, right? If I've just listed all of these things that are so bad and shitty, why do I want one? Do I hate myself? Do I hate money? Do I have no self-respect? Well, sure. but there's more too. I currently use my PlayStation 5 most often, I'd say this year. I was gonna say second most, but it's probably the most for my gaming. I'm an old school gamer at heart. I like console gaming. I like the feeling of a controller in my hand and playing games on them. Even when I do play games on my PC, I grab a controller to play them, including when I play first-person shooters, which nobody does, but I'm that guy. I just like it. I also like to game on my couch or on my TV with my wife without having to worry about the fidelity loss of, running a PC to my television, because it just doesn't look as good. But my PS5 is often in here because I'm capturing footage from it, or it's out there because I was out there gaming. In either case, it's often where I am not. And not to mention my wife is a gamer. So, Astrobot, for example, just came out on PS5, and I was in the middle of a playthrough of Visions of Mana. Well, I'm not going to make her wait, so I had to restart my save on my Steam copy, which, thank you, Square Enix, for providing that to me. That's just one of those things. It's another reason why I want another PlayStation 5. This kind of thing would just help because there's more than one gamer in the house. Similar situations came up when I wanted to play games, but Stray or Hogwarts Legacy came out and my wife was just lost in these games. So I had to share. I'm an only child. I grew up an only child. I don't do sharing well. Plus, honestly, if I'm being very transparent, I am somebody who has some disposable income. And if I wasn't in the middle of buying a house right now, I'd probably have pre-ordered one for myself already. I'm actually that niche target market for this thing. I have a gaming laptop, and it's more powerful than my gaming PC that has an aged graphics card. I'm talking a 2080 Ti, right? And I'm a casual gamer. So having a second PlayStation 5 to where I wouldn't necessarily have to share or move a bunch of equipment around would be fantastic. But that disk drive thing really pisses me the fuck off. I could make an entire hour-long video essay on the dangers and downside of an all-digital gaming world. So to make this thing without the disk drive, even as an option, and leaving people to fight for the scraps in the streets buying a separate disk drive it's fucking insulting. Fuck Sony. I'm certainly not a brand loyalist for the PlayStation. I hated the 3 and I got forced into buying a 4. But I still want one to solve for my niche problem. I'm also, a bit of an elitist. Who doesn't want the hot new thing in their hobby, right? This video clip that I'm going to play, it encapsulates who this thing is for and why. And it's me that they're talking about, to the letter.
I do think maybe, though, we might be slightly missing the point, because if you consider what the PS5 Pro is, it's a machine that's designed, I don't think it's for new owners, right? It's for people that have got a PlayStation 5, but they've got the disposable income to have a better PlayStation 5. And I think that these guys are going to have an existing library of PS4 and PS5 titles. And to make the jump out of the PlayStation ecosystem and into the PC ecosystem, then you've got to leave those titles behind. Your entire library that you might have amassed over like 10 years, you've got to leave that behind. You've got to start from scratch, which I think is probably going to be a step too far.
That's me. I'm that person that they're describing. Am I stupid? Or am I right? Or is it my money and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it? But for now, I'm going to sit here and stew, pissed off at Sony, while also contemplating giving them even more of my money. I know, it doesn't really make any sense. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, we'll see you soon, and long live the Turtle Kingdom.